Good morning, degenerates, and welcome to another episode of Boring Crypto IO, a place where I read you the boring crypto news every morning, Monday through Friday, so you don't have to. My name is not important. Let's rock and roll. All right, so guys, I have been gone for a few days. There has been a handful of important things that have happened in the space. Today's video, I'm really just going to focus on what's going on with the CFTC and Binance, get us all caught up on that if you guys haven't or if you aren't aware of what's been going on. And I apologize. I had to go do adult life things and make adult life money. Because we all know I don't do this for money. Yeah, so I picked a handful of stories that will kind of get us all caught up on the Binance situation. So with those stories being said, Binance and CZ sued by the CFTC over U.S. regulatory violations. Binance saw $850 million withdrawals before the CFTC indictment. A little bit of insider trading, you think? CFTC calls ETH a commodity in Binance suit, highlighting the complexity of classification. That's actually bullish. Breaking: Binance CEO CZ rejects allegations of market manipulation. I guess that's what one of the things he's being charged with, trading against users on Binance. We'll get into that. Here's why CFTC suing Binance is a bigger deal than an SEC enforcement. All right, market. Right now, we are at 1.128 trillion. Bitcoin dominance, 46.1%. ETH dominance, 18.7%. Gwei at a whopping 22 for an ETH transaction. We definitely had a very strong pullback yesterday. Huge wick to the downside. Unless you're an XRP. XRP has been pumping amidst all of the nonsense and FUD that's been going on in the market. I'll touch on my chart on XRP too before we get out of here for you guys. Yeah, kind of across the board, red with a little bit of stabilization. But you'll see in just a second, I'm looking for more downside action, to be entirely honest, guys, unfortunately. Yeah, let's just go ahead and jump to Bitcoin because I want to get on with these stories. So, Bitcoin, 4-hour. This is what I'm looking at. We had an ascending channel that I've been telling you guys about. We hit our heads at roughly around this just 28.9, almost 29,000. And we instantly got rejected. This is over the last few days. But then we touched the bottom of this triangle pattern we got forming, touched the top of it, etc., etc. Yesterday, right here, big blood diamond on the 4-hour. See you later. Bye. Broke out of the pattern, dumped all the way to pretty much my 26.5 line, bounced up, and it looked like we were probably gonna go back to the pattern, but this candle, it just kept fighting and pushing us down. We came back up to this 27.29, 27, we'll call it 27.3, which is actually where my first Bitcoin entry point was just last week when I started buying because of all of the U.S. inflation FUD with the Fed and all this crazy shit that's going on right now. That is my buy order right there. So we hit that, got rejected, hit it again, got rejected. And now we're kind of ranging in this 26.5 to basically 27.3 area. We'll see if it holds. Basically, without getting too deep into this, guys, if you break this down to a 1 hour, here's what I'm looking at. On a 1 hour chart, we're looking at a potential bear flag here. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. That we've already broken out of, hence me starting this video. Now, the range with this bear flag and it breaking to the downside is usually the flagpole, and that is a huge flagpole, guys. So I'm not going to go to the top of the previous pattern. We're just going to use this candle right here as our flagpole. and see where we could potentially go with this break to the downside. Yeah, again, it's not looking strong. It's looking bearish. We're looking at potentially, if all the stars align, a breakdown pretty much to 26.1. Let's just call it 26. My next buy order, guys, again, and this is a basing in my mind. If we break 26.5, we don't hold 26.5. I don't think 26.2 is going to hold. That's just my opinion. I have buy orders at 25.8. A lot of people are calling for 25, a scam wick, things like that, etc., etc. So, again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some idiot in YouTube that doesn't know how to trade well, so don't even pay attention to me. But I am looking at stacking buy orders from this 25.8 all the way to 25. There's a lot of people that I'm following that are talking about us getting back down to 25, even if I was getting ready to say, even if it is just a scam wick, and then continuing on to a bullish momentum to the upside. But like I said, it's not looking strong right now, guys. But who knows? We're all calling for bearish sentiment. Bitcoin likes to do the opposite of what everyone's thinking. Just pay attention to these levels. Your 27s, your 26.5s, and your 25s. 25.5s, things like that. Because this is 25 is like, in my opinion, there's people calling 25.2. I'm using psychological levels saying 25. If we break 25, we're probably going back down to 20. That's where my head's at. Outside of that, guys, let's just get on to the news. I'm not even going to touch on Ethereum. But I will, before we get out of here, I will finish up and touch on XRP and its movement, because it's been doing well amidst all of this bearish momentum that's in the market right now. So I missed Friday, I missed Monday. Some crazy stuff went down with Binance, CZ, and the CFTC. So we're just going to kind of get everybody caught up on that before I get you guys out of here today. So breaking: Binance and CZ sued by CFTC over U.S. regulatory violations. This was about a day ago. The cryptocurrency exchange and its founder, CZ, have allegedly violated trading and derivative rules. The United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission has filed suit against Binance and CEO CZ for trading violations, according to a Bloomberg report. The suit was filed in the U.S. District Court, Northern District of Illinois. According to the CFTC, Binance failed to meet its regulatory obligations by not properly registering with the derivatives regulator. The cryptocurrency exchange has been the focus of a CFTC investigation since 2021. The exchange acknowledged in February that it would likely face regulatory action in the United States and was already working with regulators. In addition to the CFTC, Binance has been under investigation by the Internal Revenue Service and federal prosecutors who have examined the exchange's adherence to anti-money laundering rules. Meanwhile, the Securities and Exchange Commission has been investigating whether Binance allowed the U.S. traders to access unregistered securities. And I'm just going to give my opinion piece on this right now and not really get too deep into my opinion, but the U.S. is going after crypto. They are trying to scare people out of crypto. And they're attacking it any way they can. It's obvious. The most unfortunate part about this, and this is me saying this this is my opinion, as a retail investor, someone who's not a big whale or anything like that, just an everyday guy trying to, change his life, make a buck, whatever you want to call it. It's very sad that we live in a quote unquote free country that wants to tell you as a person where you can and cannot spend your money, how you can and cannot invest your money, under the disguise of they're protecting us. So that is what I'm looking at with this. Not only is it an attack on crypto, it's a way to keep real retail investors like myself from trading crypto. So let's move on with the story. Binance is the biggest cryptocurrency exchange with over 8.5 billion trading volume daily. The price of Bitcoin has plummeted since the announcement, falling from 27,781 to 26,755 in an hour and 15 minutes. There is the case being thrown at them. The suit claims Binance conducted transactions in Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin for persons in the United States since at least 2019, despite a policy of blocking or restricting U.S. customers. That's what I'm talking about. The U.S. is trying to block us from trading, and Binance allowed it. No, I'm a grown adult. I chose to do this myself. The company and its executives internationally violated U.S. law, and the suit said. All the while, Binance, Zhao, and Lim, the platform's former chief compliance officer, CCO, have each known that Binance solicitation of customers located in the United States subjected Binance to registration and regulatory requirements under U.S. law. According to the suit, Binance obscured the location of its executive offices, as well as the identities and locations of the entities operating the trading platform. The suit cites an internal Binance memo in which CZ stated that the purpose of the policy was to keep countries clean of violations of law by not landing .com anywhere. This is the main reason .com does not land anywhere. I don't know what that means. I'm not smart enough. Binance employs at least 60 people in the United States, and that number continues to increase, the CFTC said in the suit. It also holds U.S. trademarks. Binance launched Binance.us in the Binance US arm in 2019. Among other changes made by the CFTC and the claims that Binance failed to register with the regulators and violated provisions of the Commodities Exchange Act and CFTC regulations, including legally mandated implementation of anti-money laundering and know your customer controls. In addition, the defendants failed to supervise the company's activities adequately and willingly conducted activities beyond the U.S. borders to evade the U.S. Commodities and Exchange Act and took other actions to evade regulation. Zhao and other acting on behalf of Binance have used Signal with its auto-delete functionality enabled to engage in business communications even after Binance received document requests from the CFTC and after Binance purportedly distributed document preservation notices to its personnel. The suit stated that Binance offered leverage to customers trading on the spot market and called two categories of the product it offered: futures and swaps it called perpetuals. It allegedly also traded on its own platform through approximately 300 house accounts that are all directly and indirectly owned by Zhao, as well as through accounts owned by entities Zhao owned or controlled. Binance did not disclose that activities to its customers. CFTC Global Market Advisory Committee member Christopher Perkins said in a statement provided to Cointelegraph, while it's too early to opine on the merits of the CFTC case against Binance, we remain supportive of principles-based regulation across the crypto industry. The CFTC is pressing seven counts for executing unregistered futures transactions, providing illegal commodities options, failure to register as a futures commission merchant, designated contract market or swap Design contract market or swap execution facility, failure to supervise diligently or implement AML, KYC measures, and law evasion. I don't know how I feel, or if I believe, maybe he did, about CZ trading against customers. Maybe he did. I don't know. But from another opinion, this looks like another way to control us, to keep us from not being allowed to trade where we want to, with the tokens we want to. Which they've been doing this forever. I've only been here since 2017, but they've been trying to stop us from doing this for a very long time. And I repeat this a lot, but I find it completely ludicrous. I find it to be absolutely bullshit that they do this under the disguise of protecting us. But don't forget, you could go take a HELOC on your house or leverage your house in any way, shape, or form, right? You can go get hard money, whatever. You could literally leverage your livelihood, your home, your primary residence, and go down to Vegas and gamble and lose it all, and nobody bats an eye. No one says you shouldn't, etc., etc. But when an emerging market comes up like crypto, and you see an opportunity to completely change your life, and to be honest, a more viable way as opposed to gambling it in Vegas, the government wants to come in and tell you you can't do that. Right. Sorry, I'm not with it. Moving on. Binance saw $850 million withdrawals before CFTC indictment. Someone caught wind of it and got their money out before the case hit Binance. In the 12 hours preceding the indictment, almost $1.5 billion of crypto left several centralized platforms, according to Thanefield Capital. Just before crypto exchange Binance and its CEO CZ, it's a lot of C's, were accused of regulatory violations by the United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. Tons of C's, y'all. Almost $1 billion in crypto reportedly left the platform's wallets. According to the Thanefield Capital Data Research, substantial funds were withdrawn a few hours before the Binance CFTC indictment, which occurred on Monday, March 27th, which was yesterday, at 3 p.m. In the 12 hours preceding the indictment, almost $1.5 billion left the platforms such as Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, and Bitfinex. More than half of it, or $850 million of it, was withdrawn from Binance. Just 1 hour after the announcement, Binance saw an additional $240 million withdrawn. According to the data from Nansen, in the past 24 hours, more than $400 million were withdrawn in Ethereum-based funds. However, Binance still holds $63.36 billion worth of cryptocurrency assets, including over $2 billion of Tether, $17 billion of Bitcoin, and $8.1 billion worth of Ethereum. The CFTC filed a suit against Binance and CZ in the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of Illinois. According to the commission, which has been investigating Binance's business since 2021, the company failed to meet its regulatory obligations by not properly registering with the derivatives regulator. Binance allegedly conducted transactions in Bitcoin, ETH, and Litecoin for U.S. citizens since at least 2019. The largest crypto exchange in the world has also been investigated by the Internal Revenue Service and federal prosecutors, which have examined its adherence to anti-money laundering rules. The Securities and Exchange Commission conducted its own inquiry into whether Binance allowed U.S. traders to access unregistered securities. CZ has already rejected the allegations from the CFTC, arguing that the crypto exchange does not trade for profit or manipulate the market under any circumstances. All right, moving on. CFTC calls ETH a commodity in Binance suit, highlighting the complexity of classifications, which is kind of bullish if you think about it. If they're not a security, which is the whole bullshit the SEC's been trying to do, and it's a commodity, I think that's really good for the market. That's what we've been trying to figure out for quite some time. So the suit claims Binance used ETH as a commodity in its financial products, experts explained, which says little about the basic nature of the coin. The United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission filed suit against Binance on March 27th for violations of the Commodities Exchange Act and CFTC regulations. Those violations include transactions with ETH, according to the suit. The claim, at first glance, touched on a notable point of contention between the CFTC and the SEC. The CFTC claimed in its suit that Binance engaged in transactions with digital assets that are commodities, including Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, for persons in the United States, which is interesting. Let's backtrack. That means the CFTC is saying that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin are commodities. Ooh. Okay, so what happens if the SEC says that they're securities? So, okay, this is interesting. So does that mean this is like a butting of heads with the SEC against the CFTC, or vice versa? The CFTC is trying to go against the SEC. Are they fighting each other? Mom and dad are fighting, y'all. We have a dinner table dropout parental war. Anyways, that was not a new position for the agency. The CFTC claimed ETH was a commodity in its suits against the FTX in December. And Chair Rostin Bemnam stated his opinion that ETH and stablecoins were commodities as recently as March 8th in a Senate hearing. Ooh, a lot of internal turmoil, y'all. The CFTC's position on ETH was fairly uncontroversial before the Ethereum merge. After Ethereum moved to a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, SEC Chair Gary Gensler commented on staking coins, saying that from the coin's perspective, that's another indica that under the Howey test, the investing public is anticipating profits based on efforts of others. Gensler's comment brought on a slow wave of reactions in February. For example, Ethereum co-founder and crypto entrepreneur Joseph Lubin told Cointelegraph, staking is not a security, and it would be a terrible path for the U.S. to make it so. He added that he thought the U.S. courts would agree with him, and that there would be tremendous outcry from not just the crypto community, but different politicians and certain regulators if ETH were classified as a security. The CFTC case against Binance does not rest on the nature of ETH as much as the nature of Binance products, however, limiting its applicability to the larger arguments. In this particular case, ETH is being treated as a commodity rather than a security, Timothy Cradle, director of regulatory affairs at Blockchain Intelligence Group, told Cointelegraph. The complaint references securities as they relate to swaps, Cradle added. The economics of an offering included ETH could still change the definition applied to the token. For example, ETH staking could still be constructed as an investment contract and as such a security. Some transactions, such as mixed swaps involving ETH, could be subject to regulation by both the SEC and the CFTC. Interesting, Cradle said, but that would not necessarily define ETH itself as a security, as mixed swaps also include commodities and currencies. The more complex approach to regulation would not necessarily imply cooperation between the two agencies. Yanku Gao, a partner at law firm Ice Miller, said of the situation in a statement to Cointelegraph, it shows that both the multifaceted nature of how tokens function and how they are used can cause them to fall under multiple agencies' jurisdictions. I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar lawsuit by the SEC naming all the same tokens except BTC as securities. This is so stupid. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not sure if I'm reading that correctly. I didn't realize that you could be the SEC and say that something is a security. You could also be a CFTC and say that it is also a commodity, and that could actually hold weight in court, and it could be both, and they could both go after you. I think that's how I read that. I'm not sure. Who knows? Moving on. Binance CEO CZ rejects allegations of market manipulation. CZ has refuted claims made by the Commodities Futures and Trading Commission in its March 27th complaint against Binance. Binance CEO CZ has rejected allegations from the Commodities Futures and Trading Commission, arguing that the crypto exchange does not trade for profit or manipulate the market under any circumstances. In a March 28th blog post, the chief executive responded to the CFTC's lawsuit accusing Binance and CZ of engaging in improper compliance procedures and trading, calling the allegations an incomplete recitation of facts. In its complaint, the CFTC alleged that Binance has traded on its own platform using 300 house accounts. We read that on the first story. And did not make the proper disclosures to its customers that it was trading in its own market in its terms of use. Jesus, get the word out. The CFTC also accused Binance of keeping the information a quote-unquote top secret and alleged that the exchange refused to respond to commissions issued investigative subpoenas seeking information on its trading activities. On information and belief, Binance has not subjected the trading activity of Merit Peak Sigma Chain or its approximately 300 house accounts to any anti-fraud or anti-manipulation surveillance or controls, the statement added. However, CZ argued that while Binance trades in a number of situations, this is mainly to convert its crypto revenue to cover expenses in fiat or other cryptocurrencies. Personally, I have 2 accounts at Binance, one for Binance Card and one for my crypto holdings. I eat our own dog food and store my crypto on Binance.com. I also need to convert crypto from time to time to pay for my personal expenses or for this card. He added. CZ also refuted claims that his staff engaged in insider trading, stating that Binance has a 90-day no-day trading rule for employees, adding, "This is to prevent any employees from actively trading. We also prohibit our employees from trading in futures." He went further to state that employees are restricted from buying or selling coins where they've obtained private information about them. I've observed these policies myself strictly. I also never participated in Binance Launchpad, Earn, Margin, or Futures. I know the best use of my time is to build a solid platform that services our users, he added. CZ called the recent CFT filing both unexpected and disappointing, as it has been working cooperatively with regulators for over 2 years. The CFTC also alleged that senior members of the firm have actively facilitated violations of U.S. law, including assisting and instructing U.S. customers on ways to evade Binance's own compliance controls, adding that Binance's compliance program was quote-unquote just for show. However, CZ denied being lax in compliance efforts. He stated that Binance.com has developed best-in-class technology to ensure compliance and currently has more than 750 people working to ensure the business operates within the bounds of anti-money laundering and know your customer laws. To date, we have handled 55,000 plus LE requests and assisted US LE freeze/seize more than $125 million in funds in 2022 alone, and $160 million in 2023 so far. CZ also pointed out that Binance.com holds 16 licenses to offer digital assets trading services, the most of any cryptocurrency trading platform. Just sounds like a witch hunt, guys. If I sound tired of this, it's because I am. I don't know. All this stuff it's interesting to get caught up on, but it just puts me in a crap mood, to be entirely honest. I've seen this stuff that I think is complete bullshit by the country that I live in. All right, here's why CFTC suing Binance is a bigger deal than an SEC enforcement. Market observers pointed out that the CFTC goes after the bigger fish. Oh, clearly, because the SEC just goes after everybody. And its regulatory action often proves fatal for the crypto companies. The United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission sued crypto exchange Binance for violations of trading and derivatives laws. The lawsuit filed on March 27th alleges that the global crypto exchange offered its derivatives trading services to U.S. customers without applying for a derivatives license. The lawsuit from the commodities watchdog in the U.S. took many by surprise, with market observers and reporters claiming it to be a political move, obviously. Eleanor Terrett, a Fox News reporter, tweeted that sources close to the CFTC suggest the commodities regulatory decided to go for a lawsuit in order to show the SEC that this is a commodities issue rather than a securities one. Okay, so is that bullish or not now? I'm so confused. Is this what we've been trying to go for? The lawsuit accuses Binance of prioritizing commercial success over regulatory compliance. It said that Binance disregarded applicable federal laws while fostering Binance's U.S. customer base. The U.S. regulator has accused Binance and its CEO CZ of 7 violations. We read that. Apart from the regulatory violations, the suit also specifically targeted Binance U.S. trading arms, Merit Peak, and BAM. CFTC alleged that Binance and its affiliated entities are a common enterprise with UBO and direct control back to CZ. I guess that's what that is right there. Give you guys a screenshot if you want to take some time to read it. All right, CFTC in the suit has demanded that Binance and CZ should be banned from engaging in any of the conduct described in this case, trading on registered entities, holding any commodity of interest, or directing any trading of digital assets. CFTC also wants Binance to pay back the trading profits, revenues, salaries, commissions, loans, or fees derived from U.S. persons and pay civil penalties for violations. The CFTC lawsuit against Binance is a big deal for the crypto industry, given its general belief that CFTC doesn't really go after small crypto players and without merit. This was evident in the Bitfinex case back in 2018, which the crypto exchange eventually settled in 2021 with a hefty fine, which is probably what's going to happen here. Adam Cochran, a crypto observer, reiterated a similar stance and said that CFTC doesn't go after small, frequent cases like the SEC. It's a different beast, and its cases are often fatal. Cochran, in his tweet thread, noted that the early evidence gathered by the CFTC could prove fatal for Binance. He added that Binance can either fight the case in the US or settle it outside of court, but in all likelihood, they would be forced to cease their operations in the US, which to me seems to be like the bigger plan, because they don't want us making money. Well, that's all I got for the Binance stuff going on, guys. And I'm still trying to catch wind of it and catch up to it too myself, because I've been away from the news for a few days. But let me know what you guys think. Comments down below if you've got any more information, etc., etc., as well as your opinions on this. What do you think the big plan is? What is the angle? Comments down below. So before we get out of here, let's take one more quick look at, wow, Bitcoin. Bitcoin jumped right back into the pattern. And went the opposite direction. Let's see. It's pumping right now. So let's say if this flag invalidates, we'd be looking at something like this. This could be a bear trap. Keep my eye on it. Here's where we're going right now, though. If this thing keeps moving, we're going to see if it'll break that 27.3 level and hold above it. Do one of these. Like these. If it does, that is definitely bullish and looking way better than it was looking earlier today. Outside of that, I told you guys I would touch on XRP. This is XRP on the 8 hour. I've been watching this triangle pattern since about Friday. When it pumped super hard. What was it, like a 30% pump? That was Tuesday. So it's been doing this. This is the 8 hour, like I said. We broke out of this pattern, and we've been pumping ever since, even with the downturn of the market yesterday. This is the potential measure move. Now, any of these breakouts, guys, you're usually only going to see, I mean, you could always see more or see 100%. So that'd be a 22.38% run if we continue to go. But what you'll usually get is about 75% of this as these things move. So I would say 75% would probably be around there. So about a 15% move. We're well on our way to it. Yeah, but that's what I'm looking at for ETH, or for XRP right now. I haven't seen any news that would suggest why XRP is super bullish, besides the thought that potentially the case could be ending soon. Their case with the SEC. But the whole market went down yesterday, and XRP corrected slightly, but then continued to pump, which is bullish. Like you guys know, I have a substantial bag. But outside of that, guys, that's all I got for you today. I know it's been a long video, but I need to get us all caught up on what's going on with Binance and the CFTC. Per usual, guys, if you do enjoy the content I provide here on Boring Crypto IO, which, in case you're wondering, is not a trading channel, even though I do show charts. This is just me reading the news. I recently got a nasty little comment on one of my videos, which I don't really care that much about, guys. I'm just some dude, like I said, in a room. Some regular guy. I have 42 subscribers. I don't make any money off of this. I just do this for fun, for myself, and for people that are interested about the news. But yeah, I'm not a trading channel, even though I do touch on the charts here and there. This isn't a channel where you come to figure out what your next big 100x coin is going to be. I just read the news. So with that being said, again, if you do enjoy the content I provide here on Crypto IO, guys, please by all means subscribe to the channel. Turn on your bell for notifications so you know when I do post a video. Watch the videos, like the videos if you do like them. Please share them so we can get more eyeballs out here and more adoption to the crypto space. And I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm out of here.